This is another in the series first reads where I just do a first reading of a poem. I don't have any brilliance or insight. I just read and say what I think. So I'm not reading it as if I'm going to teach it. I'm going to run it through some literary theory, anything like that. I just enjoy the first reading. Sometimes I could be completely off. Who knows? This one is in the magazine Blazing Stadium, which is a great little e-zine. And it's by Chloe Bliss Snyder. And I show you this page because her name is not on the actual poem itself. This one, in Amphora, I just kind of flip through. There are 4 poems here. I like the titles and the play on the page of this one. Lots of mentions of just sorting through it, Nocturne, Dante, Chaucer. I didn't read them. I just see them on the page. And there's love in the title of that one. And Amphora, so I'm going to start here. I haven't read it. I just looked at the title. For JDP, I'm not sure who that is. All right. I just read through when I see a poem. Usually I look at the form first. This one is 2 stanzas. No rhyme scheme that I can see. Obviously the lines play around quite a bit, so I'm not looking for set meter or anything like that. It looks fairly playful. I'm just going to read it and see what I get. An Amphora, I was drawn to that, of course, because, an Amphora has a pretty storied history in English poetry. Of course, I think automatically back to the, to Keats with this, but just the, the Greek Amphora, these, vases with the handles on the side. An Amphora for JDP. You caress me as rain runs on a rock. Right, this beginning one, I just like the R sounds, the alliteration at the beginning. R, rain runs on rock. And that sense of rain, you're caressing me. It feels like a love poem right now. Caressing me as rain runs on rock, like it runs over it. If she says, I'm an Amphora, in the next line, maybe surrounding this Amphora. I'm an Amphora, ever reaching, ever receiving my thin arms. Made from the clay we made only to embrace you, ever to be held. A lot of play there. It's like the lack of punctuation lets this poet really play with the lines. Ever reaching, ever receiving my thin arms. Nice repetition there of sounds. My thin arms made from the clay we made only to embrace you, ever, or be held. It's like the little arms, the tiny circles are meant to embrace you or be held by your rain-pale fingers. This is like that rain from the first line, slipping through 2 handles, encircling the essence of my opening. There's definitely some play here, like the 2 handles, the 2 handles of the Amphora, but the essence of my opening feels very sensual. The fingers around this opening, very sensual line. Neck accepting the crux of your thumb and forefinger as a cosmetic miracle. Neck accepting the crux of your thumb and forefinger as a cosmetic. It's like the surrounding, very playful, sensual image of the handles, the arms here. With my forget-me-not field and robin's egg sky. This strikes me with the Amphora as largely decorative scene on the outside of the Amphora, if that's what it is. The flowers, the robin egg sky. I'm an Amphora, white figures in a bucolic scene, albeit made by Avon, made to market perfume. Oh, this is fun, right? So white figures, you have these figures in a bucolic scene. This is a plain on the traditional Amphora, but this one is made by Avon, right? So you get a little bit of tongue-in-cheek there, or a modernized version of this, made by Avon, made to market. Nice M sounds here. Market perfume. So these scenes, maybe they originally had a higher decorative value, but here they're just trying to market the perfume. Yes, lover, I am cheap, but you must admit you're free. Flowers plucked from an autumn field, placed in a vernal vase. So this is really playful here. Yes, I rhyme cheap, but you must admit you're free, that kind of freeness. You're free, like the flowers plucked from an autumn field placed in a vernal vase, so it's like the lover is the flower placed in the vase. In a vernal vase, welcoming the late, and the vernal vase playing off this like traditional, amphora, welcoming the late blooming daisies. Clovers, I picked myself. If these arms had hands, I'd hold yours only. Really, a lot of nice sounds here. It feels like a transmogrified love poem into this cool image that picks up some classical, art, classical poetry, not classical poetry, but classic poetry in the Romantic period, and shifts it into a more contemporary scene with Avon and the marketing. Quite a fun little poem. I like this one quite a bit. Even I think just for the sound of it.